Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, football fans, sports fans, college football fans across the nation and around the world. This is Tim May with the Tim May Show, featuring Clay Hall.
I see you, brother.
Wave to everybody, Clay. Show everybody your cash, man. Do us a little cash dance. And then sitting next to you, boy, am I glad to finally have you on here, John Gerber.
Great to be on.
Not just because I'm jealous of you being a master golfer.
That's a stretch, but I appreciate it.
We'll get to that in a moment. We'll stretch that out as much as we can.
Yep.
But you're the CEO of FanstreamSports.com. In my opinion, you're the founder, or at least the guy that's really gotten it up and going. And, Clay and I have been so grateful to be a part of this endeavor here in the great state of Ohio, especially here in Columbus, Ohio, which is, in my opinion, still, if it's not the capital of college football, is being considered as the capital of college football. And I thought Clay and I did a pretty good job last fall chronicling Ohio State's the number one team in the country for 5 months as it went after they beat Texas, of chronicling that journey that ended up abruptly at the Grand Canyon instead of the Pacific Shores. But
it was a slap in the face.
But John, it's great to have you on here, man.
Appreciate you being on, guys. Fellas, this FanStream Sports Ohio has really launched. We launched just about 4, 5, 6 months ago, and the addition of you guys coming on board certainly has made FanStream Sports Ohio one of the best sports media companies in Ohio as we continue to grow, branch with FanStream Sports Tampa, FanStream Sports Dallas, new FanStream Sports Carolina, and we got some announcements coming soon as we continue to build FanStream Sports South Florida coming soon, Phoenix, Nashville coming soon. So listen, the addition of you guys certainly makes this FanStream Sports Ohio one of the best sports marketing media companies in the country.
Yeah, and give people a little bit of background. We're not making this show the whole John Gerber show, and why he should be president. But, presidents have come from lesser.
I have too many skeletons in the closet to be president.
Bingo.
So I don't want that in there. But
Bingo. It would look like one of those, what's his name? The Chameleon or whatever that guy is, the producer of those weird shows with skeletons and stuff in it. Would be dancing, right?
Yeah,
with me, for sure. But you grew up in Columbus. You live in Dallas-Fort Worth area now because, you are a professional golfer in your – I don't know, in your regular business or your regular time. I mean, you can explain that better than I can, but why did you think this was needed in the Columbus area?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate, first off, to have some really good partners. Tim Ham, Dallas, based in the J.P. Peterson. We came up with some FanStream Sports coming from the Tampa market. J.P. Peterson, just a staple, a legend in sports media, especially in the Florida area. And
I was on his show earlier this week. Enjoyed it. Yeah.
Same with Tim Ham, just a old 90, I think it was 105.3 The Fan or 97.1, whatever it is down in Dallas. They switch all the time in markets. He's just a legend, and just being able to partner with them to grow this business. And as I'm a serial entrepreneur. I play professional golf. I'm a PGA member.
Yeah.
So we have our fan From the Rough Golf Show. It's a nationally syndicated now on all of our platforms. So that was something that we kind of started one of our first shows with FanStream Sports. And it's just kind of built from there. From the Rough is the number one golf podcast in the state of Ohio and in Texas. So we're growing that as we continue to grow the markets. But this was just kind of a passion project for me when it comes to sports. I'm a sports guy. I love all types of sports, not just golf. I played 3-4 sports in high school. And continue to play professional golf now. I'm a golf teacher now, PGA member for over 20 years, have golf schools in Kansas City, and do a lot of teaching down in the DFW area. I call DFW home, which is great. I've been down there for 6, 7, 8 years now for my second stint. But it was just something, like a lot of really cool businesses, you start with a napkin and you write ideas down. And the first show that we ever had that, to go backwards a little bit, we started the business. The parent company was the number one show was called the Drunk Sports Podcast, right? So Tim and
that's what ours feels like sometimes.
Right? Yeah. Tim and a guy named Lance Dorsett started their show in their garage with drinking beers and talking sports, and they were great. And then it kind of blew up.
Yeah.
So I was friends with Lance before Tim, and Tim, he said, "Hey, listen, can you come to watch the show?" I said, "What do you mean come to watch the show? Where do you guys do the show at?" He's like, "Oh, in the garage." Like, I'll take a risk. So I went and had a lot of fun. And, we just started talking about, the business side of it. How can I help them? They were the talent. I'm certainly not the talent of the business, but I feel like my business acumen in this arena for sure would help grow the business. And, 5-6 years later, we have 5 markets and growing and growing. And, I love it every day, but, you guys are the talent, and all the people that we bring on board are the talent. I'm just trying to help and facilitate and support you guys moving forward and as we continue to grow. But it's watching your guys' growth on this show just goes to show we're doing everything right as a company, and we're going to continue to go.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, the Beatles, I think, started in a garage.
There you go.
Steve Jobs.
Greatest ideas in the world.
Steve Jobs, I think, started in a garage. Why can't, Fanstream Sports start in a garage?
That's
but,
right.
Clay, what is your take of what we've been doing, but of John in particular? I mean, how does that intrigue you? You were in mainstream television sports, basically all of your professional career. Yeah. What do you think about the way almost anybody can start a show, but then you got to set yourself apart, right?
You do. And, as I told you, when you called me, I was standing in the front lawn of my daughter-in-law's house in Easton, PA. And I said, I really want to work with you. But I think I even told you that I don't do the hour, man. I come on the radio.
Yeah.
I come on TV. Yeah. We anchored hour-long shows, more scripted. That's why he's so good, because the reservoir of knowledge. And mine is kind of up there, but I talk in sentences, as I used to tell him, and he talks in chapters of the book. But it's been fun because we used to, we kind of competed different platforms, but we always wanted to be the best at Ohio State.
Yeah.
And so that's been cool that I don't have to fight him anymore.
Yeah.
Or have him hanging over my shoulder or whatever. But it's been great. And I think it's cool because I was telling him, I was in Mississippi and started my own little recruiting, I don't know what newsletter, for want of a better word. Yeah. And I think, we're all a little bit entrepreneurial in some sense.
And we all like college football, but go ahead.
Bingo. So,
and we were all 3 handsome.
Yeah.
Well, 1 out of 3.
Yeah, John's got that. But so it's rolling. And as you've kind of filled us in on the plans and where it's going and how it's evolving, that's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, growing up in Columbus, you guys are legends in Columbus and staples. As I grew up, always watching you on TV, Clay, and, following Tim as he wrote in a different platform, just to have you guys on board. It's a notch in our belt to have you guys a part of this. And as we continue to grow, and listen, I try to tell you all the time when I come in, I appreciate it more than what you guys think. And we're just scratching the surface here, guys. And guys like you coming on board as legends you are in Columbus, that just tells me it's working.
Yeah.
It's working.
Well, let's get to something that has nothing to do with that. I wanted to ask you, I wish you had been here Monday, because we broached this, or Wednesday, whenever it was, Clay, we broached this subject. Does golf need 5 majors? Oh, yeah. The idea of the TPC players, it's a hell of a tournament. But does golf mean, you saw what Brandel Chambly said, you have your own golf shows, et cetera. Does golf need a 5th major?
No.
And would the Players Championship would qualify to be a major? Matter of fact, I like watching it more than I like watching the PGA Championship. I mean, I'll just be honest with you.
Because the train wrecks. Correct. That place. That's why.
Correct.
More than anything else.
But it's like
6 over 9.
Who do you elbow out, or do you need 5 majors? I mean, because you played golf for a living. I mean, what is just your take on that?
Yeah, I think I like it where it's separated. I like the 4 majors just because of the historical fact it is the 4 major. I still call the Open Championship the British Open. That's just how my mind works.
Yeah.
Right. Even though it's not it's not played in Britain all the time. Right. But so I like the separate part of it. Here's why, is because they're all a little bit different. You know, you have the U.S. Open and the British Open. They're open qualifiers. If you're good enough, you can play.
You can play in it.
The Masters is its own society of
invitational.
If you want to say snooty, you can say however you want, but it's the hardest one to get in. You have to do some criteria. And then you have the PGA Championship that allows PGA members like me, if you're good enough, to play. And then you have the Players Championship that is for the PGA Tour members. That is their tournament.
Right.
So they're all a little bit different. I don't think you have to put it in the major category to be considered from those guys to be an exclusive tournament.
I agree.
I just think the difference in all of them makes them very unique and keep it separate. Now, the prize money besides the Masters is, most of the time it kind of fluctuates a little bit, is the most.
Yes.
And you know, why change it now? I mean, why change it now? Everything's working. Why would you want to make, it's a major, and then you have to change the record books, and then you have to change all these. I like the way it is. I just, you know, it's the second major or the second tournament. You have the Masters to play every single year at the same place. The Players Championship is the same place every year. And then you have the other three that have their rotation.
That float.
I think it's great. I think they're all so different and unique. Why do you want to change it?
Yeah, by the way, I've been a volunteer at the U.S. Open the last 4 years. I'm going to be at Shinnecock this year and at Pebble Beach next year and stuff. And then I'm going to reassess, you know.
that Fanstream Sport hat and T-shirt and golf shirt will look awful good.
Hell yeah, on national TV.
He flies the flag.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be right next to the guy, John. I'll be right next to the John 316 guy, you know. But I don't even know if he exists anymore. But that's my point. It's like the Muirfield is special.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's one of those signature events where it's a field of 80, right?
Yeah.
And that makes it more special in some respects and stuff. So I don't know why people have to every year get on this bandwagon of trying to find a fifth major or get rid of one major and make that Brandon Chambly was talking about it. And he made a good point though about TPC. TPC Sawgrass, as he says, is a great 17-hole golf course. He's never liked number 17, which is ironic, the number, because he thinks it's, rinky dink or whatever you want to call it, gimmick.
Yeah.
But I think having to hit a precise shot to an island green, what more test of a golfer, better test of a golfer is there than that?
Listen, it's 135 yards, 145 yards max. If you're at that level under that pressure and you can't make that shot, then you shouldn't win that golf tournament.
Amen.
I mean, that's how I look at it. But growing up in Central Ohio, we got really spoiled with the Memorial, right? If you look at the four majors and you look at the Players Championship, the players revere the Memorial probably as the next tier. You probably have that. You probably have a couple other ones that it's that tier. And they pondered for a long time, hey, should the Memorial be a major? No, exactly. Shouldn't. So we got spoiled. Living in DFW now, we have Colonial, and then we have the Byron Nelson, and it doesn't hold the candle to Memorial how it's set up. But Memorial is a little special too. I always kind of push back a little bit. I didn't think Memorial needs to be a signature event just because it's one of the biggest purses anyways. And it's a limited field. It's not a full field, just like anything. So it's an invitational.
Right.
So I feel the same way a little bit about the Arnold Palmer, the API. I don't really think that needs to be a signature event. You already have the cachet, limited field. So use those signature events that potentially could help draw other tournaments and get that, like the Valspars never had it.
I'm with you.
And get make the tour. I'm not the biggest fan of the signature events anyways. Here's why I say that is because you've taken 125 best players on the PGA Tour and dropped it down to 100 this year. So you're already eliminating them. Now you're taking 80 of those 100. So you're eliminating 20 more.
Yes.
It used to be a little different, like, 15, 20 years ago, that a lot of these guys, if you were 150th or 125 on the PGA, you couldn't win a golf tournament. All these guys can win now.
Yeah.
The 125 can win. And you're seeing some of these great stories that, did anyone know who Jake Knapp was 3 years ago?
No.
He fit that mold in playing, winning, and getting in a signature event, right? And you would have never heard of him if it was 100 or 80 getting in. So one of these bigger events got him in. So you're missing those stories.
Yeah.
And I just, like I said, it's hard enough to get out there.
It's too selective.
Why are you making it even harder for these guys?
Right.
I mean, the rich getting richer. I mean, how much more money does Rory need? I mean, spread it out a little bit. Now, how they changed their business model, I thought was genius. And being a PGA Tour member, you're getting equity now. They can't hide things. So they're making it for profit as opposed to it was nonprofit before the whole live stuff came about. And we don't really talk about live stuff, and that's a whole different.
I wanted to ask you, is live?
I do have a
100%.
I do have
100%.
I do have a Crusher's cap, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
Bryson DeChambeau's my favorite golfer.
He's coming back, but any good business person, no matter how much money you have, you're not going to continue to lose money.
Right.
I mean, if you do, then you're just an idiot.
Yeah.
And these guys aren't idiots.
Well, they tried to change the world immediately, right?
Yeah.
And they really didn't.
Shock and all.
And so now what's your alternative? What's the difference between you and the DP World Tour or you understand what I mean? Not even as good, in my opinion. I mean, you did try to go out and get the stars, and you got a few of them, and now that didn't work.
As much.
I'm talking about the Live Tour.
No. Listen,
they're playing 4-round tournaments now.
Yeah, they're making it, but they're not going to be. They're not going to last long enough. You see, they didn't get full world rankings, right?
Correct.
So that's going to hurt him. So you're looking. I'm not saying that. And listen, I'll be 100% candid. Golfers aren't the smartest guys in the world. They're not. I mean, listen.
I hit the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Dustin Johnson's not getting a call from NASA anytime soon to go work for them.
Yeah.
But that being said, they're smart enough to know these guys would not be coming back if they forecasted this thing working down the road.
Right.
They're just, their time is limited on what they're trying to say. Now, Brooks is a little bit of a different example, in my opinion, because he took the money because he didn't know if he was going to play.
He thought
longer.
he was almost done.
So kind of a smart move in his aspect, because he was hurt in that time that he was doing it. But, to get back to Live a touch, there's probably 3 or 4 guys more on that tour that they want back, and one Bryson for sure.
Oh, sure.
But I don't even know how much more Bryson's going to play over there. His social media following is so big. But the guy that they really want is Joaquin Niemann.
Yeah.
Because he moves that South America market.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit like Hideki moves the Asian market.
Sure.
Yeah.
Joaquin Niemann moves that South America market.
Yeah. You just played Pebble Beach.
I did.
What is your favorite course?
Oh, I mean, if you ask me to play one round left, it's Pebble for sure. I mean, it's people who've never been out there. Pebble Beach is just not Pebble Beach. There's 4 or 5, 6 different golf courses right there, and it's just kind of a big whole community, and it's as special. And listen, I know how special it is. I've been very blessed to go out there to play in the Pebble Beach Invitational the last 14 years.
Wow.
And it's usually the week before the AT&T, and you get 30 tour guys and you get 30 club pros, and you play a best ball format with an amateur partner. And I know when I go there, I'm as excited as hell to get there, and I'm extremely upset when I leave. And that hasn't faded in 14 years. And I can't say that about another golf course. I've been blessed to play Murfield a lot. First couple times you play it, it's exciting. Murfield's too hard, first off. Yeah. And then, when you get done, you're just beat up, and you're just like, man, do I want to come back here?
Is this
Pebble's not that way. It's
I think Nicholas admitted one time, he, after doing Muirfield and Valhalla, it's like the whole idea is that's a members golf course the other 51 weeks or whatever, 50 weeks of the year, right?
Yeah.
And or however how long they're open in the winter. But my point was, it's like, I remember seeing him say this one time, you don't want every golf course you build to be of that caliber, because if it's no fun for the members, they'll quit.
It's too hard.
Yeah. And it is interesting, that little I don't know, dance you have to play, because but I wanted to ask you this, I think even Nicholas has said, and I may be wrong, that if he had one course to play before it's done, it would be Pebble Beach, just because of everything.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so different. I mean, Spyglass probably all around is probably a little bit of a better golf course.
Yeah.
It's way harder. I mean, it's 5 or 6 shots harder for the most part. Spyglass Hill. It's just 7,200 yards at sea level, and it feels like you're always hitting uphill, and it's you have to hit a heavy ball, and it's always windy. But Pebble, there's some scoring opportunities. We were blessed 2 weeks ago that the weather was perfect. I'd never seen it. Never.
I want you to talk about that.
Seen it that way. I mean, it plays completely different. Never seen it that way. Not a lot of rough. It's
not a lot of wind.
No. And in Spyglass, it didn't matter how nice it was. It's still hard. I mean, it's just one of those. But Pebble, Pebble, there's some scoring opportunities out there, and it was perfect. And like I said, I'm excited when I get there, and I'm sad when I leave. And 14, 15 years later, I still feel the same.
Your favorite? Go ahead.
It's so hard to, even for the best. How long have you been on a course in the zone? How long did it last?
That's a good question. Everybody's a little different when it comes to that. The hardest thing about golf is kind of battling yourself. I mean, all those for me is a little bit different. I had a skill set that I was mentally, probably that was my greatest attribute. I left and went to Europe when I was young and played golf. And so I've seen the world, and I was never scared. I always felt that I could beat you down the alley with a stick in a aluminum foil ball. Right. That was not. Wasn't the case, but I fooled myself enough to think that way. But that's what you have to have in golf. There's certainly guys way more talented, but talent only gets you so far. And there's so many variables to being a good player now, because there's so many good guys that are doing it. First off, financially, if you're not financially setting, and if you're worrying about money, it's not going to work. It doesn't work, because that's just another added thing that you have to worry about on top of all the other things. Beating guys and the travel. Travel is a hard part for a lot of guys. Is how do you, self-admittingly, I enjoyed myself when I was playing golf. Mm-hmm. Like I was never the guy that went to the golf course and stayed out there 8, 9, 10 hours and beat balls. I said, I'll get my work done. I'll go play, but I want to see the world, and I want to go have some fun. Maybe that was a detriment to why I didn't play. I stopped playing, but I was going to make sure I got every single thing out of it, no matter what. Yeah. But that just built the experiences, right? Off the golf course also. So I always thought that, I could always beat you.
I could hang with anyone.
Yeah, that's always, but I didn't know it, it didn't happen most of the time, but in my mind it did. And I think if you have that mentality and you can be financially secure and you're able to stick it out there and believe, and you're talented. Listen, there's no substitute for talent.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not say, hey man, I'm going to turn pro and I can't break 80 and expect to go out there. I got all the money in the world. It doesn't work that way either.
Hey,
so there's a lot to it. There's a lot of things that have to kind of work in your favor and things like that. So I've probably seen some of the most talented guys I've ever seen hit a golf ball that just don't have the other things.
Yeah.
And I've also seen the guys that you would bet $1,000 a hole on the driving range, and then you get them on the golf course and they're going to beat your brains in.
Yeah.
So it's just all kind of singular on how you do it.
Yeah. Like Seve, Seve didn't, he didn't look like he should be a world conqueror,
He worked harder than everybody.
Oh, exactly.
And he thought he could beat you. He would tell you he would beat you.
And he would try any shot.
Oh,
I mean, he that's what I want to ask you about, John. Explain what being in the zone means for a big time elite pro golfer. What does that mean when I say that to you? Does it mean continual close proximity to the hole, because that's the ultimate goal by any means necessary? Or is it every shot you're feeling it right in the middle of the club face and it's like, or wherever it's supposed to be? I mean, what does being in the zone mean to you?
Well, the best rounds of golf that I've ever played, and if you talk to a lot of tour players, they don't remember what they shoot.
Yeah.
They have no idea what their score is.
Yeah.
They just go hit shot per shot. They're not thinking about anything else, and they're just trying to get it in the hole as fast. They don't know what their score is. They have to add it up. They don't know.
That's amazing.
Yeah. They don't even, and now it's the way I was. I would have to add it up. I was like, I don't even remember what the score was. I just made sure every shot, I didn't remember shots. I just tried to get it in the hole as fast as I could. Now that comes from hitting really good quality golf shots also, right?
A lot of them.
A lot of them. So if you ask a tour player.
Oh, wait a minute. Actually, if you're really in the zone, you hit fewer.
Yeah, fewer.
Yeah.
If you ask a tour player.
Like Don Knotts, remember, and Andy Griffith, when he's trying to get in that club and he goes, the one guy says, what do you shoot on 70, high 70s, and the other guy high 80s? Well, don't worry, high 70s guys, you'll get there one of these days. Go ahead now.
Well, guys, if you think about it that way, is they first off, they don't remember their score. And if you ask a tour player, if you watch, they never say they shoot 5 under par. Say, right. Hey, how'd you play 8? They don't say I shot 2 under par, 3 under par. They don't care what par is. Yeah. It's just a number, right? I mean, it says it on the television. Hey, it's 6 under par, but a tour player won't say, "Well, I shot 6 under today." No, they'll tell you the score.
Yeah.
Because under par or over par is irrelevant.
Yeah, total is all that matters.
That's all that matters. So that's some of those mind games like that. Those guys are, really, really good at. There's very few these days. There's so much money out there, right, on the PGA Tour, right? There's very few guys that aren't mentally strong out there. They're all pretty damn good. You got to be mentally strong when you're eating steak and shrimp every single night and working out. You don't see very many unfit guys out there anymore.
No, that's what's crazy,
because there's so much money.
Yeah,
there's so much money. There's so much money out there to finish 50th.
Right.
Yes, back in the day, it wasn't like that. You miss a cut or you finish 50th, you're going down to Houlihan's in the Memorial, playing the Memorial or Applebee's, and you're getting sideways, right? And they said, I don't really care what I shoot tomorrow because the money doesn't really make that much difference.
Yeah.
But 50th and 40th, you're talking potentially $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 now.
Yeah.
So you very rarely see that.
Go ahead, Play.
Do you have a favorite or somebody you're close to that plays out there on tour, or somebody that plays like you?
Well, I'm 54 years old now, so I'd look more to the Champions Tour guys.
Soda.
Yeah, no,
I think Tito Fitoff has said he's going to caddy for you if you make the Senior Open.
I told him on his show the other day. I was like, listen, he keeps trying to peer pressure me to qualify for Scioto. I was like, listen. You don't have that much influence on me to peer pressure me enough to really do this. So if I'm going to do it, I love competing. I still do. But sometimes, wanting to compete and still competing doesn't mean the successes you get there. You have to practice. You have to play. There's more to it than working hard. And that's just not a priority for me right now. And I love to play, and I still play at a pretty high level, but these guys are playing every single day.
Dude, when you're cracking the ball, you know what I mean by cracking? You're, like I said a while ago about your strikes are big time and stuff. What does hitting 400 balls, what does that do? Because some guys don't do that. No. Sergio is a world famous, not practice that much, and not warm up before a round. Now he's on the live tour, but but he's an older guy. But my point is, what is it that when you're on the driving range, that's what I was asking about a while ago. What is that feel or whatever it is you're trying to find by hitting 200 balls after a round?
It's different for everybody. Like the guys who are really beating balls are usually working on something. And you'll see if you go down to driving range, they have their TrackMans now. Back in the day when I was playing, we didn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Right? And it was just feel. VJ Singh obviously was notorious for practice because he didn't have the most talent in the world.
Right.
So he had to practice harder than everybody. And the guys who were the greatest, like the Tigers, had the talent, but still worked as harder than anyone else. That's why you have greatness. You have good and you have great. Yep. The great is you have the talent and then you have the work ethic. The good is you either have the talent or you have the work ethic. And if you have both, that's great.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of look at it. But yeah, most of the guys now, they're either working on something on the driving range or with their coach. And it's a long week. There's very few guys, unless they miss a cut, that are out there beating balls for 5 or 6 hours. It doesn't really tend to that.
I've told this story. When first time I was a volunteer for the U.S. Open was at the Country Club in Brookline in 2022. And one day when I'm there after my duty, I was going to walk around the driving range because they had it all, big staked off and big high fences and stuff or screens. And I was going to pick up a few stray balls. There weren't any.
No.
See, I'm you think, I got a buddy of mine, he shot us something at the Muirfield Media Day a couple of years ago and said, I could play the tour. I can play this. Well, number one, he was hitting from the media day tees, and number two, you have no freaking clue.
Yeah,
and this guy's a good golfer.
I look at it this way, and I teach. In my golf schools in Kansas City we have a lot of really good junior golfers and college golfers that I teach now, and I always tell people, and even guys that are coming or getting out of college and are thinking about playing. And I make it real simple, and I don't sugarcoat it at all. I've been in your spot. So I said, listen, if you're not beating everybody where you're at, you're not going to beat anybody anywhere else.
Right.
So take it in levels.
Unless you're on Jupiter Island or something.
But in junior golf, if you're not beating everybody in junior golf where you're at, you're not going out in the nation and beating everybody.
Suddenly,
Same in college. Right now, there's some exceptions to the rule. There always are, right? But take it at levels. And I get that question, hey, am I ready? I was like, are you winning everything here?
Yeah.
And if you're not, then you answered your own question.
Yeah.
And it tempers expectations a little bit, but also what it does is it gives you confidence. If you're being everybody where you're at, that gives you confidence to the next level.
Just tells you how good those guys.
It's amazing.
Hey,
what can I get?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, you go.
What's the favorite?
We fight all the time by getting asked. We used to do this in press conferences.
What's the best or favorite shot you ever hit in competition?
Competition or
where you had to have it.
I've had 9 hole-in-ones. 9.
I've had 1.
4 on the same hole, which is kind of strange.
Where is that?
Wait a minute.
Here growing up at Groveport. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah, the old
they
Groveport Country Club, the thing. Yeah,
on the third hole, the little downhill hole.
Yeah, I know that hole.
Growing up, that's where I played golf growing up. So, I had 4 there. I've had 1. Wow. It's funny that the guy that came in, I had 1 hole-in-1 in competition playing in a Pro-Am in Puerto Vallarta a couple years ago. And the guy who just came in, Dale Cox, he was with me. He was my partner in Puerto Vallarta when I had the hole-in-1. And ironically enough, I saw one of the best hole-in-ones I've ever seen 2 weeks ago at Pebble Beach. His brother was, we played with him, his brother. He had another the pro at Ohio State, played with his brother in the Pro-Am at Pebble Beach. I played with Dale. And his brother, first time out there, had a hole-in-1 on the 7th hole at Pebble Beach.
Wow.
Number 7.
Yeah.
And it was a shot that he hit behind the hole, spun it back, went in. First hole-in-1 ever, and first time ever to be at Pebble Beach.
Wow. What did he hit there? You remember?
Just a little 56-degree wedge, right? And
just threw it up in the air.
It's funny. I played that hole. Believe it or not, it's 106 yards.
Yeah.
I've had to hit 5 iron in there before.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Well,
you saw a 200-yard golf club.
You saw that video the other day where these guys are hitting in the ball. The guy hit one little flop shot and went up. Yeah. He hitting it toward the ocean. Yeah. And it came up and came back down. Your favorite hole at Pebble is?
Wow, that's a good question.
Because that's where they're playing. They're playing obviously they're in or Spanish Bay, where they
Spyglass.
Spyglass in Pebble Beach this weekend. Yeah.
I'll preface this with I don't play it worth a damn, but it's number 8 at Pebble. I mean, I can't play it. It's too hard.
Wait a minute.
Jack said it's the greatest hole in the world. So it's a 440-yard par 4, but it has the ocean on the right and it has a ravine, but you can only hit it like 230.
Right.
And then you have like a 210-yard shot over the ocean, over the ravine that goes down and to the right.
Yeah.
Right. So, it's one of those. But to go back to your question, and I don't know why I didn't think of this. I've been very blessed. I mean, Pebble, I get mesmerized at Pebble, but I've played Cypress twice. Cypress Point.
Yep.
And that is by far the greatest street in golf. It's the number 1 golf course in the world. It's right there at Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
And if you look at if you play 15, 16, 17, even 14 is a short par 4, par 3. And then 15 is the iconic one over the ocean, or 16 is the iconic one over the ocean.
Yeah.
And the reason that didn't come to mind, because I don't remember like first 5 or 6 holes out there when the first time, and actually the last time I played it a couple years ago, it's just because you're just, how am I even here? A kid from Columbus, Ohio, playing the number 1 golf course in the world. I'm mesmerized. Like and I don't get that way very often when it comes to golf. I've been very blessed to play some great places, but that place it's a different, even
16, man. 16 it's like, are you kidding me? I mean, here's what I've always said. I've been on Pebble Beach a couple times. Matter of fact, I walked up off the beach on Carmel by the Sea. It's right there. And I walked up off the beach one day. I don't know if it was the 10th green or what green it was. Right 9 there,
10.
Yeah, 9 or 10, and just kind of walked around a little bit and just checked it all out. But I've always said if I ever get a chance to play there, I want to play there twice.
Sure.
Because the first time you're going to be going, Cypress Point, you want to play there 3 times because I would be two rounds in a row, right? And plus, I'd be out of balls. I'd have to make a trip to Monterey to get some cheap balls. But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
It's. I've had a buddy of mine one time used to gripe about the fact that Pebble Beach was a golf course. He didn't know anything about Cypress Point. He didn't know anything about golf, really, even though he helped cover the Memorial Tournament for a long time. But he says there would be a public park open for everybody. And I go, well, number 1, you could go out there and walk around.
Sure.
And then number 2, imagine if they hadn't put a golf course there, there'd be homes there.
Yeah.
Right? Exclusive.
There
homes.
still is. There's still there.
Exactly. But they would be right up, on 18. They'd be where 18 is. They'd be, there's something to be said for golf courses, kind of like, I don't know, preserving unbelievable spots, right?
Yeah, it's it's a place that here, with the exception of when they have the U.S. Open there, they don't change it very much.
No,
because they don't need to. Right. Why would you repaint over the Mona Lisa?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? things like that is why are you changing? It's kind of what's different than the same as the majors. Why do you want to add another major? It's already great.
One last quick, probably three more follows after that. But the interesting thing was you talked about playing Pebble last week. It was a week and a half ago, whenever it was. No wind.
Yeah, nothing.
It's not the same golf course.
No.
It's funny because I met a guy in the airport coming back from when Ohio State played Oregon. I met him in the Portland airport waiting for a flight, and he had played Bandon Dunes the day before, and there was no wind.
Yeah.
And he said it was quite average.
Yeah. It's
he loved being there. What a setting. They got 4 or 5 courses or whatever is there. But he goes, whatever the big one was, he had played it, and it was no big shakes and stuff, except for the ocean being there. Is if the wind's not blowing, is Pebble that great shakes?
It's a little bit different. The thing about Bandon, which is brutal. First off, is it's walking only. Like you can't. Yeah. And by the time you get there, you're already worn out. It's just extremely difficult to get there. It's not like Pebble. You can fly right into Monterey and you're right. Oh there. But Bandon, you're so damn tired, and then you got to walk 3 days, and you're like, man, I'm ready to get the hell home. But Pebble's a little bit different. It's still difficult because Pebble is a little bit more quirky than Bandon because how old it is, and almost 110 years old right at this point right now. Bandon's pretty new in terms of the golf realm. It's probably 40 years old or 50. I don't know how old it is.
It's still a great place.
It's still a great place, but you don't have to. Is Pebble the same with no wind? Maybe it's just, let's just say it's just different. It's still great, but it's a different great.
Yeah. I don't know if I got a buddy named Rob Aller, a sports columnist for the Dispatch. Still, he played Bodega Bay one time, and he goes, he was like, they were in a wind. It was a 2 or 3 club wind. It's so. How good do you really know you are? That's the only time you ever play that golf course. You understand what I'm saying? And you're just struggling to hit a ball straight. It doesn't. It's kind of strange. It's luck of the draw weather-wise, right? And
this is the only thing. This is the only you will never hear this comparison anywhere else from anyone ever. The only comparison I can ever say to Pebble Beach in Columbus, Ohio, is you can get 4 seasons in one day.
True that.
Yeah,
true that.
And I've been in both.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the if you want, you'll never get another. If anyone ever says they're compare Columbus, Ohio to Pebble Beach, or that's the only comparison.
Me and my old buddy Dennis Feely, God rest his soul, were playing Raymond Memorial one time about 50 years ago, and the wind, a front was coming in, and of course this is before lightning could kill you. I don't know if you know there was there were stuff, whatever, and we're playing, and it's one of those with like 35, 40 mile an hour wind gusting, and we're going to finish it, and stuff. And so, you're right. But I don't think I'd want to play in that every day.
No.
If you follow my drift.
No.
Hey, real quick, John, before you go, we want to get to a certain level of subscribers for this channel, but for FanstreamSports.com Ohio, how do you go out with that begging? You get people to subscribe to your channel and stuff. What would be your magic touch?
Yeah, it's just continue what you're doing, having great content, having great shows like this show, the Jeff Didoff show, coming soon, the Jimmy Bell show.
Yeah,
all having great content and great shows will bring him automatically. We're doing the right things. Go to FanstreamSports.com, go to FanStream Sports Ohio, subscribe. You can get all the content every time you subscribe. If you're a new subscriber, we'll send you out a FanStream Sports t-shirt, things like that. Continue to build, but it's all predicated on great content, great shows like what you guys do.
Well, hey man, thanks for joining us. You got any more questions for the big boss, Clay?
Yeah, he didn't answer my favorite golfer.
Yeah, he didn't.
I don't know if I have one. That's a good question.
See, Clay writes down.
You know,
Clay writes down queries. I just kind of go from the seat of my pants.
Next time I can tell you some good stories. How about some good inside good stories?
Dude, you come on the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall anytime you want for all kinds of reasons.
Yeah.
But do you answer his question?
That's funny though, because you were talking about hyperventilate and all that. And this guy I work with, Anthony Rothman, who's on 97.1.
Yeah, I know Anthony.
We worked together at Channel 6 for 15 years. And when they brought back the media event to play the course
at Muirfield,
he was so worked up. I mean, he literally thought, man, this is where, and I'm not good, so I didn't take it as seriously.
Right.
But
yours truly.
I just remember after the first drive, like he was, Ant.
Overthinking it.
Come on. It's a golf course.
Yeah.
It just meant so much to him to walk where the big boys walk.
Yeah, he's a good guy, Anthony. I like Anthony.
Have you ever had a chance to play Augusta?
I have. I played Augusta twice. Yeah.
And just give us a take on Augusta. And I think you feel I've got to cover it one time in 1984, the first year Ben Crenshaw won it, and I walked the course probably 6 times that week. Anyway, that's a long story, but that's Tim May. The main reason I like going to U.S. Opens, I like going to golf courses I've never been to more than I like watching the golf.
Sure. Sure.
But just, is it worthy of where we put it, that golf course?
Yeah, for sure. And it's just different. And, you have that, it's different than the Pebble Beach, and it's different than the Shinnecock.
Yeah.
It's different than the Pine Valley. Yeah, certainly. And I tell, we're very blessed as PGA members. We were able to go down. They give us free passes every single year. So I've not only played it, but I've been there a bunch.
Yep.
And what I tell people that's never been there is what you see on TV as hilly, it doesn't do it justice on how hilly.
I agree 150%.
So wear some comfortable shoes and get in a little bit better shape, because you're going to be tired if you want to walk that place.
And if you don't like pine straw, you're in the wrong place.
And take some allergy medicine, because the pollen trees will kill you.
Oh, absolutely. I tell you what, Amen Corner on Sunday morning is
special.
About as cool as it gets.
Yep,
I agree. I'm with you 100%. Hey, John, thanks for joining us, my man.
Appreciate it, fellas.
I know you've got business to take care of, but
keep up the great work, fellas. I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely, brother. By the way, Clay has left the room. I wanted to let you folks in on a real bargain out there in the world of simulator golf. The Back Nine Golf, which is located at 2820 Fishinger Road in Upper Arlington, has a hell of a holiday box available to you right now. The value is nearly $300, but your price is $150 if you jump online. That's almost 50% off if you jump online at Columbus at theback9golf.com. That's their email address. Their website is theback9golf.com/Columbus-upper-Arlington-OH/ That's a long address, but just write it down a couple times watching it. And you can also call them at 614-362-7888. Parentheses PUTT. PUTT. But the bottom line is one of the new ultra modern simulators that you can find in the greater Columbus area, and it's really right there in the middle of Upper Arlington. I know Tito Thidoff and I hopped in there the other day. I think it was 16 degrees outside. There was snow and ice everywhere, and we played Pebble Beach, and we did it in less than an hour. So it's one of the great bargains going out there, and with this holiday box, you get 1 month of Birdie membership. You get Back Nine branded golf balls. You get cozy Back Nine beanie, and you get premium Back Nine towel. So that's a hell of a deal, because basically it's unlimited golf. It's 24/7. You get a code to get you in the door, and then you can go from there. And it's definitely fun. It's the premises are pristine. I know we had a great time. We even played closest to the hole, a few shots on number 7, famed number 7 short par 3 at Pebble Beach the other day, and had a great time doing it. So if you're looking for that last minute gift for a golfer, a golfer that you love or yourself that you love, that you're a golfer, nothing wrong with giving yourself a gift at this time of the year. That's the Back Nine Golf holiday box, and it's only a limited time. And there, as you can imagine, there are only a few available. Quantities are tight. So check in at theback9golf.com.